Were there Chola archaeologists who studied and were aware of empires and civilizations of the past? Was there a Chola Indiana Jones? That's a really interesting question. If you look at the very name of the Cholas themselves, Chola is a pretty ancient name. It comes really from the Sangam period, which is about 300 BC to 300 CE. And these early Cholas were the earliest state in Tamil Nadu. They urbanized through contact with Roman traders. So the very fact that many centuries after the disappearance of these early Cholas that a later family are calling themselves the Cholas tells you that they're aware of their past. Now, of course, the later Cholas claim to be directly descended from the ancient Cholas. We aren't entirely sure if that's true or how we would prove if that's true. I think it's much more interesting to think that the name Chola had passed into myth and legend, and many centuries later, people still remembered them, and so it was politically useful for a family to claim the name Chola. And you see this happening with a lot of families, not just the Cholas. You see it happening with the Chalukyas, for example, in the Deccan. There were families who called themselves Chola all the way in Andhra Pradesh as well. We don't really know if they were descended. Very often we think that ancient Indians didn't have a sense of the past, and we assume that when they had a sense of the past, it's only because of they were direct descendants. But I think that's a little unimaginative. The people of the past obviously remembered history, not necessarily in the ways that we do, but through legend, through myth, through oral epics. And the fact that they chose to continue to engage with their past, to try and reinvent the past for new times, tells us that they were interested in history just like we are.